Triathlon gold medalist Martin Fleig, who got the first gold of these World Championships for the home nation. There are quite a number of Chinese debutants here. The Chinese Para-Nordic skiing team have brought some ensemble with them here to Finsterau, and a lot of them will be seeing in action for the first time on the biggest stage here in the cross-country sprint. So another lovely day here in Finsterau. It was a little overcast first thing this morning, but the sun has just about managed to shine through, and we're around about freezing point at the moment, but around midday we may well get up to 1 degree Celsius if we are lucky. First to put in a timed lap of this 970-meter course is Maksym Yarovyi of Ukraine, 27 years of age, the reigning cross-country sprint world champion. Yarovyi, and is the leader in the overall World Cup standings this season. So he's the man to beat. He'll go out and set the time that the other sit skiers will have to try and get somewhere near. So these qualification rounds, it's an interval start. They'll go every 30 seconds or so. It's all about the clock here to begin with. And the fastest 12 athletes over one lap will go through to 2 semi-finals featuring 6 athletes each. The semi-finals will be head-to-head. There will be a staggered hunting start, or pursuit start if you like. The athletes will begin at varying intervals based on their individual classification and their fastest qualifying time. Therefore, the skiers with the highest level of impairment will start first. They're pursued by athletes with lower levels of impairment, and all athletes should reach the finish line at about the same time. So it doesn't really matter about the times in the semi-finals and the final. It's all about who crosses the line first. But you've got to get yourself in the mix for those head-to-heads, which means that you've got to go out alone. You've got to go out and post the fastest time possible. The world leader in the cross-country sprint, Maksym Yarovyi, has the opportunity to set the benchmark here as he's first off the start line. And off goes Yarovyi. So just under a kilometre for him to ski, 970 metres. As I say, it is all about the clock. So take a bit of working out for Welcome back to Finsterau. It's time for the finals of the cross-country sprinting. We had a couple of minutes just to catch our breaths, and here we go. The final for the men's sitting sprint will be contested between Maksym Yarovyi, Trygve Steinar Larsen, Andrew Soul, Colin Cameron, Wei Hyun Sin, and Camille Rosiek. So the final of the men's sitting sprint is underway, and it's led out by Maksym Yarovyi, who has been the world leader in cross-country skiing so far this season. He's the man in form. He's looked good in qualification and in the semi-finals, Yarovyi. He's the reigning world champion, so he's out on course to defend his title. Pursuing him then, 5 more athletes: Trygve Steinar Larsen, Andrew Soul, Colin Cameron, Wei Hyun Sin and Kamil Rosiek. Those 5 are all LW12 athletes, so they are racing very much against each other and racing to close the head start that Maksym Yarovyi was afforded because of his classification as an LW10 athlete. They're 26 seconds behind him on the start line. There is Maksym Yarovyi working hard. He needs to stay in front for the duration if he's to defend his world title. Silver medalist in Sochi in 2014 as well. The World Cup overall standings leader. The man in the #1 bib. Will he be the man at the #1 step of the podium later on today? It's a tough job to go out. You've got to race your own race when you're at the front and just not worry about what those behind you are doing. Just got to go as quick as you can for the entirety of this 970-meter sit-ski sprint course. Ahead of the rest at the moment is Andrew Soul of the USA. Number 6 there behind him is Trygve Steinar Larsen, and 7 is Colin Cameron. Soul has dug deep up the incline to bridge a bit of a gap between himself and Larsen. Larsen is being pursued closely by Colin Cameron. There those two are, avoiding any collision in the turns that can be quite tight here in Finsterau. It's Andrew Soul, who is the leader of the LW12 athletes at the moment, but still way behind Maksym Yarovyi, who is seeking back-to-back world titles in the cross-country sprint. There's the other 2 competitors, Kamil Rosiek wearing number 10 and Wei Hyun Sin, already a medalist here in Finsterau yesterday in the biathlon. Got bronze, the Korean. But it's Maksym Yarovyi who looks over his shoulder and sees that nobody is close enough to challenge him. Maksym Yarovyi of Ukraine successfully defends his world sprint title at a canter. Second, and silver medalist Andrew Soul. It's going to be close for bronze, but it's Trygve Steinar Larsen who just stays ahead of Colin Cameron. 5th, Wei Hyun Sin, and 6th, Kamil Rosiek. He led from the front, Yarovyi. All of the finals, the 6 sprint finals that we had today. It has been a frantic 4 hours or so here in Finsterau. But after all of the action, all of the qualification time trials, all of the semi-finals, a number of dramatic finals, we are very much aware of who our 6 world champions are. So the first flower ceremony will be for the men's sitting sprint. Well, they've cleared things away very quickly here in Finsterau. This area now, maybe 10 minutes ago, was just a mass of spectators of the start line for the sprints. Sprinters warming up for their finals. It was very busy, it was very high energy, and it was very, very entertaining. So the flower ceremony for the men's sitting sprint.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the flower ceremony for cross-country sprint and sitting. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the medalists.
There are the medalists.
The muskets will be presented by Mr.
Bronze medalist.
Technical Director from the IPC.
Number 6, Trygve Steinar Larsen. But there is the world champion, Maksym Yarovyi. Came into these world championships as the man in form, the world leader in the World Cup standings. Number 1 on his bib. And he is the world number 1. So here's bronze. Trygve Steinar Larsen. 44 years of age. In 2011 world champion. Just missed out on a medal in the biathlon yesterday. This time he gets his Filu, the mascot of these world championships. Silver for Andrew Sowell of the USA. A 5-medal haul on a home snow 2 years ago in Cable. He's got the first of these championships. Gold medalist and world champion Maksym Yarovyi of Ukraine, 27 years of age, defends his world title. The official victory ceremonies will take place a little later on here in Finsterau in the brand new hall that was built for these World Championships. That'll take place about 5 o'clock this afternoon, Central European time. This, called the flower ceremony, may as well be called the mascot ceremony. Haven't seen any flowers yet, but